Sag, hello and welcome to your winter 2024 into 2025 shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the winter season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I am joined today by the Wild Chorus Oracle deck by Abacus Corvus. Sag, this reading is meant to carry you through the entire winter season. Watch it at the beginning of the season, at the winter solstice, end of December, to get an idea of what your shapeshift might look like for the season ahead. Then re-watch it like end of January, beginning of February, because then you'll be able to bring your lived experience to the messages in the cards, and it will hit different. Watch it one final time at the very end of the season, like mid-March, to reflect back on your shapeshift and see the arc of your journey over the course of the winter season. Okay? Okay. Show me the shapeshift for Sagittarius this season. You start the season fresh off of a Mercury retrograde. So Mercury stationing direct in your sign will probably feel better. Yeah, totally. This was on the bottom of the deck when we started, and I felt it for you. Safe passage. Yay, thanks Mercury. Okay, what else for Sag? Okay, you are deeply loved. Sure, we'll take that. Nice. What else for Sagittarius? That reminds me, there's a reader on here named Opal Oracle, and their readings are awesome. There's like a phrase that often comes up in the readings that's you are safe and loved and protected, and you are deeply loved and safe passage, and that's what that feels like. That thing Opal Oracle always says, you are safe and loved and protected. And I love that mantra. It really hits when you need it. So this is it. May your voice be heard. Is that what it says? May your voice be heard, yeah. So it's sort of like you are granted the go-ahead to speak what needs to be spoken, or to speak out, or to say what needs to be said. Take a look at that together. We've got these two birds looking at each other. The corvids seem to be connecting with that. You are safe and loved and protected thing. And it's kind of like what the bear needs to hear to then like, or it's a wolf maybe, what the wolf needs to hear to then howl. To say, okay, I need this, or this is how I've been feeling, or this is what really makes me mad, or what I really need to speak up about. And I know that I'm safe to do that because I'm in company of those that love me, because I know I'm loved here. And so I can say what needs to be said. I am safe to speak my mind. Or at the very least, there's a question of maybe for you is like, is it safe to speak my mind, to say what's on my heart? And the cards seem to be assuring you safe passage here, seem to be assuring you that you are deeply loved, and that like whatever you need to say, or however you need to kind of like individuate or stand out, or like go make your voice heard in some way, there seems to be support for that. Because I mean, safe passage, we've got the compass, we've got like sprigs of rosemary or something, and then the corvid's carrying the key with a blue string tied to it, and then we see that blue string laid out with all these like sprigs of flowers and whatnot. And this like cross stitch. You are deeply loved, safe passage. is that? And then may your voice be heard. You've got what you need. You've got the support you need. Lift up your voice, speak out, sing it out, ring it out for all to hear. Like, it's sort of a go for it. Especially if it involves speaking your mind. So it could be, honestly, Sagittarius, it could be as simple as like, hey, Mercury is direct. Say the thing. You know, like it could be that simple as this, like if Mercury rules speech and communication and the thoughts that we formulate and how we express them and communicate them, there seems to be a whole lot of support now that Mercury is direct and maybe even like leaving your sign and going into other signs. It's like you've got safe passage now. The way is clear for you to now like know that you're safe and loved and that you can speak what needs to be said. Whatever you discovered in the depths during Mercury's retrograde. The retrograde reading for you was called Into the Depths, and it talked about like you going into your own inner cave system and really like mapping your insides. It's almost like an x-ray or like getting some sort of scan. Like you're going into those normally hidden places within yourself and you're kind of mapping them so that you can understand your insides and your inner workings and what's really going on. And then in this reading, it's like then you can emerge once Mercury goes direct, probably. And it goes direct on December 15th, around the time I'm doing this reading, actually. Knowing that like, okay, compass, I went down there and I mapped it. I mapped my depths and I realized that there are needs that I have that aren't being met, or there are things that I've been feeling or things about myself that I lost that I need to speak up about. And so there's something here about then the wolf raises its voice and must be heard. So maybe before I leave you on this side of things, let's just... Oh, well, I opened right up to Safe Passage, so I guess that's what we're reading. True Compass, Journey, and Reassurance. Yeah, this whole reading just feels like reassurance and like the sort of reassurance and bolstering you need to say what needs to be said. What seem like mountains from here may just be rocks. What feels like an impassable river may just be a piece of ribbon. And you have a compass if you get lost. Safe Passage supports you in finding your way through difficult, shifting, or unfamiliar terrain. That's the into the depths of the cave journey of Mercury's retrograde. Your situation may not be easy, but it isn't dire. So when this card turns up in a reading, it offers reassurance that you have more capacity than you think you do. Best practices include making sure you know where your keys are, so to speak. Draw on your intelligence, intuition, and past experiences. Safe Passage reminds you to tap into your confidence and call on existing support systems. It doesn't promise ease, but it doesn't pretend disaster either. This card may also show up for support if you're taking a trip or facing something scary like a medical procedure or a challenging conversation. May your voice be heard. So I guess we got to read that next. Honesty, personal power, and advocacy. The howl of this Arctic wolf pup is loud and insistent. It may not have the powerful lungs or gravitas of its elders, but it's putting everything it's got into this howl. Without apology, without fear of taking up too much space, and without feeling that you need to be an expert already. Whatever it is, stop holding it in. Don't whisper it, shout it. Here's the encouragement to let the youngest part of you be the loudest and to vocalize a truth that needs to be not only spoken, but heard. Speaking itself isn't the whole story. You can scream at the top of your lungs in some relationships and never be understood. This card reminds you to choose your listeners wisely. Interesting, because you are deeply loved. Like, choose the people that love you in a way that they will hear you and they are willing to listen. Choose your listeners wisely as you express what you need to. This wolf pup may show up to draw your attention to the need to advocate for yourself in your current situation. Send the message, sing the song, ask the question. Whatever you're working with, work it out vocally. This is an antidote for feeling silenced. This is expressive power. Trusting your growl. Okay, because we've got Mars retrograde through Leo and Cancer. And Cancer is over here saying, you're safe, you're loved, protect yourself. And there's Mars in Cancer. There's Mars retrograde. You're safe, you're loved, and you are protected because you're going to protect yourself. Amazing. Trust your growl, release your howl. Fierce advocacy for yourself or others. Give the mic to your youngest parts, creating conditions for deep listening and for talking it out. Amazing. I mean, that is all we need to go deeper. So we are going to use Isabella Rotman's This Might Hurt tarot, as well as her companion deck, This Might Help. And we're going to use these two decks to get into your reading now. If this is resonating so far and you'd like to go the rest of the way, click the link in the description below and that will take you to the shifting space where we investigate these readings together over the course of the winter as a community. We will watch readings together. We will track the astrology transits as they unfold in real time, and we will pull cards for each other and support each other in a Discord chat space. So if that sounds like something that would support you making your voice heard, I hope to see you there. Okay. Sag. Tell me about this.